This is Augustana Sportscene, a weekly update on Viking athletics at South Dakota's largest private college. Now, let's catch up on the action and excitement of Augustana athletics as we roll our Augustana Sports Update for this week.
Last Saturday afternoon, Coach Jerry Oshevsky launched his Augustana coaching career as his team rolled past MSU Moorhead 41-28 in front of over 4,100 sun-baked fans at Kirkaby-Over Stadium. The Vikings dominated the first half, using a 24-0 second quarter barrage to go into the half with a 41-7 lead. The Dragons came back with 3 second-half touchdowns, but Augustana fought hard to earn Coach OJ his first win as head coach of the Vikings. Augustana's first touchdown came on a 41-yard fumble recovery by sophomore defensive back Chad Curry. Later in the first quarter, freshman quarterback Trey Hyde broke loose to score on a 34-yard run. In the second quarter, Augustana's special teams stepped up as Tegan Brown blocked an MSU Moorhead punt and recovered it in the end zone. Other second quarter touchdowns for the Vikings came on a nifty 16-yard pass from Trey Hyde to C.J. Ham and on a dazzling 40-yard scamper by Dejan Newell. Sophomore kicker Lucas Wainman also had a memorable first game as an Augustana Viking as he booted a school record 53-yard field goal along with another 41-yarder. Lucas also was a perfect 5 for 5 on extra points. Augustana ran the ball 41 times and picked up 227 yards. Dejan Newell led the way with 96 yards, with Trey Hyde running for 83 and C.J. Ham 66. Leading receivers for the Vikings were Matt Gary and C.J. Ham, who each grabbed 5 receptions. Trey Hyde finished with 18 completions in 26 attempts for 166 yards. Defensive leaders were Ben Skelly and Brandon Moore with 7 tackles each. Devin Alber added a pass interception with Jake Lee, Joel Slinden, and Tanner both recording quarterback sacks. In volleyball, Coach Ashley Buckley's team started their season impressively as they went 4-0 at the Alaska Anchorage Invitational. The Vikings defeated Claflin, Texas A&M Kingsville, American International, and Alaska Anchorage. Senior Holly Halfmeyer was named the most outstanding player as she totaled 55 kills over the 4 matches. Junior outside hitter Courtney Yisker also was named to the all-tournament team as she smashed a tournament-high 57 kills. Sophomore setter Marissa Johnson also earned all-tournament honors as she dished out an average of 13.8 assists per game. In women's soccer, Coach Brandon Barkas's team began their season by splitting a pair of road games. Augustana defeated Missouri Southern 2-1 as Maren Worth kicked in the winning goal. Maren also scored the Vikings goal in the 2-1 overtime loss to Northeastern State. In women's golf, Coach Peggy Kirby's team finished second at the Augustana Invitational held at Baker Crossing Golf Course. Marissa Toivonen and Jennifer Peterson paced the Vikings. And in cross country, Tracy Hellman's women's team, led by senior Runa Falk, finished first in the Augustana Twilight Meet held at Yankton Trail Park. The Augustana men took second place as Adam Braun was the Vikings' top finisher. That's our sports update for this week. When we come back, we'll talk football with head coach Jerry Oshevsky. Stay with us.
Augustana Sportscene is brought to you by Sanford Health, improving the human condition, and by Mid-Continent Communications, the connection that counts. Augustana Sportscene is also brought to you by Life Touch, photography for a lifetime, and by Graham Automotive, real service, real value.
Whether you're in pain on Friday or get hurt on Saturday, injuries can happen any day of the week. Now you can walk right in for expert care at Sanford Orthopedic Fast Track. We're the first to offer a walk-in clinic at 4 convenient locations, 7 days a week with evening hours. Call 605-328-2663. Expert care when you need it. Sanford Orthopedic Fast Track.
Combine Midco Extreme Wideband, the region's fastest internet, and Mid-Continent video with TV everywhere, and take shows you normally watch here and watch them anywhere, anytime. So turn your tablet into a TV, take CNN with you, catch the Cartoon Network, Up here, turn any screen in the house into a mid-continent screen. Mid-continent video with TV everywhere and the flawless streaming performance of MidcoNet Extreme Wideband make mid-continent the connection that counts.
You can be part of
something bigger.
As Sioux Empire Federal Credit Union, you'll have more than a place to do your banking.
As a member of Sioux Empire Federal Credit Union, you'll receive interest refunds on your loans, actual cash back every month. They're the loan leaders. They even gave their members over $91,000 back last year.
And no hoops to jump through.
just a place to do your banking, where you are the focus, not profit.
Sioux Empire Federal Credit Union. Yesterday's values, tomorrow's technology.
Hi everybody, I'm Bill Gross, Director of Athletics at Augustana College, and joining me here on Augustana Sportscene is Coach Jerry Ohusky, the new head coach of the Augustana football Vikings. Coach, last Saturday afternoon you got things started as coach at Augustana. A big win over MSU Moorhead. The Vikings came out on top 41-28. Your thoughts?
I was pleased. You know, some of the things that we talked about, Grow, were getting out of the chutes, creating normalcy for our kids. All they know from me right now is practice and scrimmage. So creating that game atmosphere where they stay calm, they understand assignments, they do what they're supposed to do your job, basically is what we talked about. And then the transition parts of special teams on and off, offense, defense, you know, turnovers and so forth. I couldn't have been more happy about that part of the operation, our efficient use of the clock and how we went about things. And then making plays in the first half. We said, just be us. You know, let's make the plays that we're supposed to make, and we made quite a few in the first half, and that certainly made things a little bit easier at halftime, and probably a little bit too easy for a young football team, but a great opportunity to grow from that.
Right.
Just enough to have the mistakes in the second half that we got a little bark in our bite to go forward this week and humble ourselves to get better every week.
Well, fans certainly saw the potential of the Augustana Vikings in the first half from every aspect, Coach. And let's break the game down a little bit and talk about those different aspects. Let's start first with your thoughts on offense.
I thought it was pretty productive. You know, we started slow. The defense gave us a great opportunity in the green zone down there right out of the chutes, and Devin Elber getting that pick. And we go 3 and out. Missed a couple blocking assignments, and I think some pregame jitters through the boys kicked in, and also having a sudden change situation just like that that they got to be prepared for. But the flow of the game, you know, our numbers were good. You know, we had 21 first downs, we had 227 yards rushing, which is right in the wheelhouse of where we want to be. Trey threw for 166 on the day. You know, the turnovers is something that we pride ourselves in not having. You know, and we had the 2 fumbles and the interception. So those are the cleanup points, but I thought overall, we were efficient, and they showed stuff that they hadn't shown in 3 years in the second half, and that's fine. As we go forward, if a team does that to us, we'll be certainly prepared for zero pressure, 9-man box, and all those things that they prepared. But for a first-year starter freshman, first college experience starting, a new O-line revamped, I was pleased offensively.
Yeah, Trey Hyde had a good first game, I thought, for a redshirt freshman.
Managed the game very well. His biggest thing for me, and I coach quarterback, so obviously it's tough to play the position that your head coach is coaching. I just said, use our offense as it's to be used. Be an efficient manager of the game. Let the other people do their skills, and you do what you're supposed to do, because he's a very skilled young man. He can run, he can throw, as people can see. I thought he was excellent. Kept his poise. You know, Dejan mentions it about keeping his poise in the huddle. That's huge. You got a bunch of seniors that have played some snaps. They don't want to look at some puppy and say, you know, hey, we've been here, you haven't. I thought he was excellent with that. Communication on the sidelines was exceptional. He knew what he was doing. He knew what I wanted done, and he went and did it to them for the most part. Okay,
let's move over to defense.
You know, a big thing for our defense is gap integrity, and I thought that in the first half we did an exceptional job of that. You know, we're going to have some turnovers. Our kids can play exciting. Coach Dicker puts us in a good opportunity to have some takeaways, and we did in the first half right out of the chutes. Second half-wise, you know, that's stuff that they hadn't shown on tape. They went through a different system in the second half, and we got caught, you know, a little bit behind the sticks a little bit. We got to get ourselves off the field. Too many passing yards, and some of those were prayers and throwing them up in, but they got completed, and we got to get better at that. Our nickel coverages have to work a little bit better. Our play calls have to match what they're doing. But I have the ultimate confidence in Coach Dickert and our defense that we're going to be pretty good as we go forward. We're not as good as we think we are yet, but we're going to get there. And again, it gave us a little bite in the bark to come in and say, these are the things that we need to improve on, and it's good to improve on something that you won, and we can move the next week forward.
Okay, great. Well, the last aspect, I guess, of the game in a major way is special teams, and Wow, OJ, you had to be pleased with that group.
I am, and to be honest with you, girl, we spent probably a lot more time than other people do on special teams in fall camp. It's the third factor of the game that I don't ever want to lose, especially with a young club, a new club. That's the largest transition of real estate in a football game. People understand that, you know, a punt or a block punt is a 50-yard change of difference. Right. If you had a 50-yard offensive play or defensive play, you'd be pretty excited about it. So we pride ourselves in those units. I went and got myself my kicker from St. Olaf and Lucas Wayman, who I think will someday be kicking on Sundays, to be honest with you. I mean, he averaged 45.7 on punts, broke a school record of the 53-yard field goal. Probably could have given him an opportunity at another one, but the wind went a little crossing in our face. And put all but 2 kicks into the end zone, in the back of the end zone. Right. So, but the kids on the units did a good job too. We should have sprung one of the kickoff returns for a touchdown. We missed one block on it, and that's 11 guys doing their job. But we'll get better. We blocked a punt for a score. You know, a lot of the things that we work on every day showed their face, and we expect a lot more of that going forward.
Well, talk about what it was like for you and your staff to coach that first football game at Kirkby Over Stadium.
Well, it's exciting. You know, and people kept asking me before the game, are you nervous? I really wasn't nervous. I was anxious. I wanted that thing to get started on Thursday. You know, we've been beating up on each other, and I wanted to see our kids play. I wanted to see us fail. I wanted to see us succeed, but I certainly wanted to see us fail too, and how we responded to that failure, and we got both. We were successful in the first half, and I thought handled that pretty well. We kept coming. In the second half, we weren't quite as successful and had some drives that died on us, moved the ball 50, 60 yards, and then ended a drive on ourselves. And defensively, we just got to get better of closing the door. But it was exciting. It was. I hope fans enjoyed it. I hope that people come back to KO and realize this is a special atmosphere, and these kids play hard. We will play passionate football, and we'll represent Augustana College well, both at home and away. But I'm just relieved it's over, to be honest with you, to get that first one out of the way and let it be a W, and now we can march forward. And our whole mantra is 1-0. You know, every team can beat us this year, and we can beat every team. So we're going to make sure that we got that 1-0 attitude every day and every way, and make sure that we humble ourselves when we need to be humbled and feel good about our performances when we're done.
Well, that leads us into the final question, and that's this week we prepare for the first road game, long trip up to Minot State. Your thoughts on that one? Well,
again, for a young club, it's good to challenge us that way. It's going to change up their whole, you know, we got to walk through in the evening, we're going to walk through in the morning, you know, eating on the road, playing a night game under the lights that these kids haven't done since high school, a lot of them. So a lot of news there too, so what? Here we go. It's football. You know, it's going to be a 100-yard field with 10-yard end zones, and they got lights on, and there'll be people there watching, and there'll be officials spotting the ball, and we're going to play. So as we go forward, I never wanted excuses. We talked about in this program, we don't want to ever have an excuse. If we fail, we own up to it, we learn from it, we go forward. But I don't ever want to have an excuse from the coaching staff or from our players. It's let's learn from it and make sure we're better the next opportunity. It's only a mistake if we repeat it. So that's been our calling card, and I'm excited. I'm excited to go up to Minot. I'm excited to go on the road and let our kids bond a little bit, away from school, away from camp, get some time in the hotel, and we got a pretty active schedule as we go through, but I'm excited for the opportunity.
Well, Coach, congratulations on that first win.
Thanks,
and
Coach.
Go get them up in Minot.
Appreciate it.
Fans, stay with us. We'll be right back with Augustana cross-country coach Tracy Hellman.
How do you hold a moment? Keep friends and family close. Witness the passage of time. Replay the glory days. Relive magical nights. Create memories to share. How do you capture a lifetime? One picture at a time. Life Touch. Photography for a lifetime.
The Volkswagen Passat, winner of Motor Trend's mid-size sedan comparison, beating out the best-selling sedans in its class. Just another feature that comes standard. That's the power of German engineering.
Exceeding expectations. Getting better every day. It doesn't happen by chance. Preparation pays off. So the only question to ask yourself is, am I better today than I was yesterday? Exceed yesterday. Choose Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine.
With me now is Augustana men's and women's cross country coach Tracy Hellman. Tracy, great to have you on the show again. The Vikings off to a fantastic start, as last Friday night out at Yankton Trail Park, they hosted the third annual, right, Coach?
Yep.
Third annual Augustana Twilight Meet. It's developed into quite a spectacular event, Coach. And let's talk first about the atmosphere out there. It was phenomenal.
It was exciting. It was loud. It was busy. It was a lot of energy, electric. And that's why I heard a lot of people say stuff like that. But we added the field sizes, so that brought in more people. But it's just something unique, something different. I think the kids that run it really like that atmosphere, and fans too. It's a course where you can stand and see the runners come by multiple times. And we got some pretty big time competition that came also.
Right.
And yeah, that meet's really taken off, and I think that it's going to become one of the better meets in the Midwest.
Yeah, it's obvious that's going to happen. Have to ask you before we talk about the Vikings and how they did. A lot of folks wondering, how did you get the University of Nebraska Big Ten Conference, men and women, to come to Sioux Falls, South Dakota?
Yeah, that was really cool. I'm good friends with the coach, and he had heard about the meet, and he was intrigued by it and asked me about it. And I told him that we'd love to have them come down, and we got another Division I team in Creighton, and his kids loved it. He told me after the meet that they're definitely going to come back if it works in their schedule. Mm-hmm. And that was neat to have that stature of university at our meet. And I think it speaks well for our program too, that he came and knew that it would be a competitive meet for his athletes.
Well, Coach Hellman, a phenomenal program at Augustana. As folks know, the women first and then second in the nation the last couple of years, the men right in there. Conference championships, coach of the year, regional championships. It goes on and on. I can't keep track of everything, of all the honors, but we have a tremendous cross-country program at Augustana. And we've got good teams again, Tracy. Let's talk first about the ladies.
Well, you're right. The cupboard's certainly not bare. We have a couple really top-end girls with Aruna Falk and Kristen Brombo, and both those individual ladies are going to have an opportunity to contend for individual championships at the national level. They've been around for such a long time, it seems like, but they've been running so well. We're ranked number 4 in the nation right now. We're a little bit thinner in terms of we don't have as many girls, but we're pretty quality still. And that was evident on Friday night. We beat a good Nebraska team. Mm-hmm. And so I think if we continue to stay healthy, and we got different girls like Megan Brown, Caitlin York, we got a new girl, Mary Delgado. I think that we should have a really good women's team and could possibly have a chance to get some more hardware at the national championships.
That'd be phenomenal. Well, the men are also strong. Talk about them.
Yeah, the men, we actually weren't fully staffed on Friday night with our men. We held out a few of our top runners. We're currently ranked 3rd in the nation. We have a lot of returning athletes that are big-time runners, I guess. We have Tom Carbo back, and he's a household name at Augustana. Mm-hmm. Paul Yak is returning. He's the defending conference champion two years in a row. We have Nathan Hauge, TJ Gleason, Adam Brown. We just got a lot of good, solid guys that have had experience. And so we feel that we have a good opportunity to not only win conference and regionals, but take a shot possibly at the national level.
Well, the Vikings continue through with some meets. The next one is up at the University of Minnesota here toward the end of September, and then some others. But it's exciting for us this year. We have both the conference and regional meets at Augustana.
That's going to be really exciting because last time we hosted a conference, I think it was in 2001. It's October 26th at Yankton Trails Park. It should be another exciting opportunity for our athletes to run in front of a lot of fans, and that's important. And then 2 weeks later, which would be November 9th, we host the regionals, and that's a 26-team regional, and that's how you get to the nationals. And so, yeah, it is exciting to have it in Sioux Falls, in our backyard, that our kids can sleep in their own bed. And we know that if we stay healthy and run well, we can put on a show in front of the home crowd.
Well, and then the Nationals, kind of close to our heart, go back out to Spokane, Washington, where the Vikings won the ladies' national championship 2 years ago.
I can't tell you how happy I was to hear we're going back to Spokane. That place is
always... Is it going to be a snowstorm again?
If it works out the way it worked out, I hope so.
Okay.
It's a special place in our hearts, obviously, and we're very enthusiastic about going back out to Spokane and recreating some more memories.
Well, Tracy, you have a fantastic program here at Augustana. We're so proud of you, your coaches, your team. Good luck to the Vikings this season.
Thanks, Bill.
At Mid-Continent, we believe in going the extra mile for you, making sure your questions are answered, getting every job done right the first time. Why do Mid-Continent Communications employees go out of their way for customers? Because that's how you'd treat a friend or neighbor. And to us, that's exactly what you are. Mid-Continent Communications, the connection that counts.
Whether you're in pain on Friday or get hurt on Saturday, injuries can happen any day of the week. Now you can walk right in for expert care at Sanford Orthopedic Fast Track. We're the first to offer a walk-in clinic at 4 convenient locations, 7 days a week with evening hours. Call 605-328-2663. Expert care when you need it. Sanford Orthopedic Fast Track.
You can be part of
something bigger.
At Sioux Empire Federal Credit Union, you'll have more than a place to do your banking.
As a member of Sioux Empire Federal Credit Union, you'll receive interest refunds on your loans, actual cash back every month. They're the loan leaders. They even gave their members over $91,000 back last year.
And no hoops to jump through.
just a place to do your banking, where you are the focus, not profits.
Sioux Empire Federal Credit Union. Yesterday's values, tomorrow's technology.
Joining me now on Augustana Sportscene is outstanding Augustana junior running back Dejan Newell. Dejan, tremendous to have you on the show. You are a super football player for the Augustana Vikings, and we're really excited you're here. We'll talk a little bit more about Augustana football and your role here in a minute. But to begin with, you're from Lakeville, Minnesota. You played at Lakeville North. Talk about growing up playing football and what kind of teams you had in Lakeville.
I started playing in 3rd grade and played in the kind of in-house league we had, and played that all the way up till middle school, and then played middle school and also played on a traveling team in 8th grade, and that was a lot of fun. It was fun to kind of travel around to other cities and not play kids just from Lakeville, so it's good to get a little different exposure. And then from that, just played high school and then decided to come here, and it's been a great time.
Pretty successful teams at Lakeville North?
Yeah, especially as of lately. They've really picked it up and been pretty successful. I know my senior year, we had the best record at the school at that time. I mean, since the split from North and South, and ever since then, they've just kind of been getting better and better, and just they're really building into kind of one of the top teams in the state.
Well, it was great that you decided to come to Augustana, Dejan. You had a redshirt year, and then you've been playing for the Vikings for a couple of years. We got the season started last Saturday under new coaching staff at Kirkaby Over Stadium. Pretty hot day out there,
yeah, it was.
But good win for the Vikings.
Yeah, it was a real good win. We really came out fast and we played really well. Offense, defense, and special teams all clicked and played really well, and it was just a good start and good to get the first win of the year.
Well, you had a number of nice plays, picked up, I believe, 96 yards, but you had a nice 40-yard touchdown scamper. Talk about that one.
Yeah, it was just kind of our basic inside zone that we run, and there's a guy that came blitzing off the edge, and I saw him, so I just spun around him, and then there was just a nice big open space, so just took off, and wide receivers did a great job of getting downfield and blocking, so I was able to cut back and just score a good touchdown.
We'll talk about what it looks like back there from running back. When you get the football, what do you look for, and how do you make your decisions on what you're going to do?
I mean, most of our stuff is kind of zone read, so it can vary on play to play what kind of is open, but basically the O-line know, who they're responsible for blocking, and depending on how they're playing them, whichever way they're able to kind of block and shield them off one way, the gap may be open on one side or the other. So I just kind of, once I get the ball, just kind of read what they're doing, and they usually do a great job for me, so it makes it pretty easy.
Yeah, you and CJ Ham, quite a duo back there. You play together some, you spell each other some. Looks like you got a good bond between the two of you.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, we got a great relationship, and on and off the field. Off the field we're great friends. We hang out, and on the field I think we really complement each other very well. I'm more kind of quicker, scat back type of player, and he's I mean, he's quick too, but he's a load. I mean, he's a big kid, so he can definitely run downhill all day. So I think it works well for us.
Well, a new quarterback this year for the Viking offense, Trey Hyde, and what your thoughts on his first game?
I thought he did pretty well. I was most impressed with his composure. He didn't really freak out at all. He was very composed. He knew what he was doing. He knew what he wanted to do, and I think he played very well.
Well, a new coaching staff under Coach OJ here at Augustana. Your thoughts on what it's been like with the new staff?
I love them. I mean, I love them, and the greatest thing about it is I know they love me and all of us. I mean, they're really expressed that they're here for us, not just football-wise, but I mean, as people and to help us, and it's been great. I mean, they're great teachers, very knowledgeable, and they're a great staff. I'm very thankful to have them.
Well, what do you think about the season?
I think it's going great so far, and I mean, it should keep going on the up and up, so I'm looking forward to big things.
Yeah, just 1 week at a time, and this week it's Minot. Changing gears a little bit, Dejan, what's your major, and what do you think you might want to do?
Physical education, and I'm hoping to be a high school PE teacher, and then also coach football and maybe basketball as well, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, well, listen, it's spectacular to have you at Augustana. You're a great role model, outstanding player, and I know you'll be a good teacher and coach if that's the path you take. Thanks for being with us. Have a great season.
Thank you.
Exceeding expectations. Getting better every day. It doesn't happen by chance. Preparation pays off. So the only question to ask yourself is, am I better today than I was yesterday? Exceed yesterday. Choose Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine.
Let's take a look at the Augustana sports calendar for this week. Friday, September 13th, women's soccer is on the road at Washburn University in Emporia, Kansas. And volleyball, after a 4-0 start up in Alaska, comes back home for the NSIC Challenge at the Elman Center. The Vikings will play South Dakota School of Mines at 2 p.m. and Drury University at 7. Saturday, September 14th, volleyball back in action in the NSIC Challenge, again at the Elman Center against Northwest Missouri State at 2 and Missouri Western at 7. And football, first road game of the year, up at Minot State, 6 p.m. Sunday, September 15th, women's golf is at the Concordia St. Paul Invitational, and women's soccer takes on Wayne State in Wayne, Nebraska. Monday, September 16th, women's golf finishes play in the Concordia St. Paul Invitational. And remember this Augustana athletic information. Football games may be heard on KIKN FM 100.5 and worldwide at KIKN.com. And remember, for complete information on Augustana athletics, go to our website at goaugie.com, where you can also get discount tickets for Augustana athletic events. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next week for another edition of Augustana Sportscene. So long, everybody.
You have been watching Augustana Sportscene, a weekly review of Viking athletics at South Dakota's largest private college. Learn more about Augustana College in Sioux Falls at augie.edu.